What's up everyone? So I'm back making videos. I'm super excited to talk about this one today. It's about my experience in Royal Marine training and specifically what I found the hardest. But before we get to that, I just wanted to thank everyone who has been super supportive of me making videos again. It was kind of a struggle to get back into it. I've been sick recently and I didn't know whether it was going to be the perfect time to do it, but I really wanted to, and it's paying off because I'm really enjoying it. So thank you for everyone being supportive. Secondly, if you want to talk to me through Discord, there's a link down below. I have a little group made up. There's only a handful of people in there right now, and it's still, there's no channels on it. It's still really new. I'm going to work out the kinks in that in the next few days. But feel free to join that and suggest videos and stuff like that. Okay, the hardest part of Royal Marine training. This is completely subjective. Some people find the first few weeks of Royal Marine training to be the hardest. Some people find the commando test the hardest. For me personally, I found bottom field pass out to be the hardest part of training. Now, when I say the hardest part, physically and mentally, both together, it was the hardest. When it comes to just physically, I would say the commando test was the hardest. And when it comes to just mentally, I would say the final exercise is the hardest. But as a mix of both of them and just kind of my mental fatigue, it was bottom field pass out. And the reason for that was because I got injured on my first attempt. So before I get into that, let me tell people what bottom field pass out is. Week 23, you have 21 pound of webbing, you have your rifle and all your kit and all that gear. You do a full rope climb followed by the assault course, followed by a 200 meter 5-man carry with someone roughly about the same size as you, and then a full regain over the tank. Sounds easy, but it's horrific. So with my experience, I fell off the rope and did a bunch of damage to my ankle the first time through, and then I was in Hunt's company for a while training, and mentally I was kind of like trying to prepare for that bottom field pass out. It was kind of like the big goal for me. A lot of people in training actually say if you can pass bottom field pass out, as long as you don't get injured, you'll probably pass out of training. So you know, it's about 2/3 of the way through training. It was kind of a big milestone for me, and with getting injured on it, it kind of gave me that mental block. So I went through Hunt's company. For people who don't know, there's 3 stages of Hunter, or there was when I was in. Hunter 1 is when you're completely injured and you can't really do anything, you're just recovering. Hunter 2 is when you're slowly doing physio and you're kind of getting fit and you're just getting that mobility better. And then Hunter 3 is when you're fit and you're just getting your fitness back up into a troop. I got all the way back up to Hunter 3, got injured again with my groin. I actually pulled a muscle on my groin, went back to Hunter 1. And it was at this point when I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to pass out of training. I remember calling my dad and my mum and just being like, I don't think I can do this. They were just like, look, give it one more shot. We know you can do it. And I was like, all right, well, you know, like, I'll just try one more time. Luckily, I got through to Hunter 3, and I actually did the bottom field pass out in Hunter 3 and then joined a troop who were doing the, like, as I was joining the troop, they just completed it. So I actually did bottom field pass out with a small group of people in Hunter 3 who were at the same stage of training with me. I think there was like 5 or 6 of us doing it, so it wasn't a full troop. There was a lot of focus on us. All the PTIs were very drilled in, making sure we were doing the right things, so the nerves were a bit more there. And for me, if I could do the rope climb, because I was never really good at upper body strength, if I could do the rope climb, I knew I would probably be able to do the rest of it. So I remember going down to bottom field and being like, you know, if I don't pass bottom field pass out this last time, I'm probably not going to do it. So I did the rope climb, and I remember being like a foot away from finishing the rope, and the sergeant was just like, Jillings, like, you were a foot away and I know you can do the rest of it. And it just, something just went, and I managed to get that last foot, touched onto the tape on the top, went down to the bottom, and I remember him pulling me aside and being like, all right, I know you can do the rest of it. You've just done the rope, which was your mental block. And sure enough, he was right. I did the assault course really well. Fireman's carry, I absolutely blitzed it. And then with the regain, I blitzed it as well. This was dead in the middle of winter, so bottom field pass out was very bumpy because of, obviously it's usually just mud, and then when it freezes over, it's horrible terrain to run on. So there was a lot of things that were kind of against me, and luckily we did it, and everyone in our group in Hunter 3 did it, and we all joined the same troop, and we actually all passed out together. So it was a big accomplishment, and it really gave me a sense of pride, and it fueled me to be able to pass the rest of training, because I thought to myself, if I could do that, if I could overcome an injury and a mental block of the ropes and the bottom field pass out, I could do anything. And sure enough, I was correct. With that being said, if you get into Royal Marines training, this might not be your hardest thing. You might find this to be the easiest. You might end up going on Final X and being like, oh my God, I can't do this. So, you know, it is subjective. If you have gone through Royal Marines training, I would love to hear your experience on your hardest tests you did, and comment them down below, or reach out to me on my Instagram. I'll put all the links for the Discord and Instagram down below. So yeah, that's how it went. That's, you know, it was the hardest part for me in Royal Marines training by a long shot as well. And you know, Final X was definitely difficult mentally, and the commando tests were definitely difficult physically. But when it comes to both of them being mixed together in just a mental block, it was bottom field pass out that really was the tipping point for me. So if you like the video, please press the like button and subscribe. There will be more videos to come. I like doing the reaction videos, so if you've got any suggestions of videos you want me to react to, do comment them down below, or message me on Discord or Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy, everyone.